you know, so it's more professional, more,
Sure.
got more clear boundaries.
Yeah. Because in a way, you're kind of a service provider for facilitating groups at the same time. Okay. And you draft this up, get it to her. She uses language that hurt you, that maybe you feel unappreciative.
So maybe it's a style that was just kind of a dismissive style.
Okay.
Which is her personality.
Okay. And once that happened, you know, it sounds to me that you right away figured out what are the things that you would have done differently, or how you would have presented it, communication-wise.
Right away, I just felt defeated.
Okay.
I felt ashamed. I felt angry. I felt hurt.
Okay. Did that come later? And I didn't mean to get those out of order.
I probably thought of that now.
Okay.
Laura said that.
Later. Okay. Okay. And how is this, you know, knowing, you know, from everything that you're telling me, how that language and the style maybe affects you, or, you know, triggers some of those beliefs that get going. How is that going to affect working within the group, providing the services, being a participant, a volunteer?
Well, I don't have that much contact with her.
Okay.
So if I'm not doing morning groups, then I probably would just see her occasionally.
Okay.
And I mean, yeah, so unless someone wanted to talk to me, they'd have to go through her and she'd have to contact me, but,
Okay. So you're already seeing that, you know, and this is, I'm using your words, that maybe you misinterpret it because it's a style differential, and you acknowledge that I, Kristen, have one style and she has a completely different other. Okay. How do you, you know, in the future when styles collide or clash, because maybe you'll have another run-in with the supervisor where you have to communicate something and you're expecting her to communicate back, how, you know, how do you prefer to view an incident like this?
you know, I guess I just want to be able to see it as fact. This is, I mean, I can understand that this comes out of her own needs to communicate in this way. That's what way she feels comfortable, and I don't know. I think a brusque style sometimes hurts me. So, you know, I guess if she isn't accepting of the agreement, or she's more, I feel like she's more pushing me off, then I probably wouldn't be at the house anymore. I'd probably stop.
Okay. You would dismiss yourself. Okay.
Yeah, because, you know, I don't want to work. I mean, I can understand if this is coming through email, so there's no opportunity to be thoughtful about the way you say things. But I think I just have to accept that people are the way they are, you know, and not take it personally.
So acknowledgement and acceptance of other people and their styles. And it sounds like you have maybe even a future plan if, you know, another incident, something like this continues and these feelings come up. Okay.
If it becomes more aggressive on her part, then I don't think we'll stay.
Okay. So when will we know you're making progress and learning to acknowledge and accept others' differences and styles and behaviors that are opposite of yours?
I don't know, probably some stop point where I don't take it personally. I don't know what you say to yourself so you don't take it personally, but besides, it's not about her.
What would you say?
Well, I guess I just have to remind myself that I am valuable.
So maybe building up and remembering your own strengths. You know, that you like to connect with people and you enjoy relationships. You enjoy providing services. You value people and being around and helping them. Anything else that I need to know about what's going on, Kristen?
No, I guess I just feel like I have limitations too, so I have to work in a way that I feel healthy, that I feel balanced.
Okay. So getting that balance back and maybe giving yourself a break to be a flawless person is something that you want to work on or improve upon.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I just need to, let other people have their flaws and let myself have mine.
Okay, time. Good.
Yeah, we're just over 35 and a half.
Well.
So James.
Yes.
Since we've never worked together, I'm gonna put my own spin on it.
You go for it.
All right. What was the experience like for you?
My last tape, I wanted so much of the story that I would ask questions that would deviate off the feeling path the person took me on.
Okay.
So I was really trying to stay with whatever she put out there.
Right. You did a really
And
good job.
everything she put out there, I try to snag right away and capture and let her know that I heard it. The other thing I did in my last tape too, that I do this with kids sometimes, that's why I did it. I'll ask a leading question as a way of, like, if I would have said to you, well, have you thought about maybe just sitting down with your housemate and talking it out? That's asking a question while giving advice.
Sure.
And Colin pointed it out, and I'm like, oh yeah. And I tried very hard to ask questions that were pertinent to not only the template, but pertinent to what she was giving me.
Not counselor motivated.
Yeah, I
Gotcha.
tried to stay right in my lane. And I don't know, I didn't feel like I might be wrong. I didn't feel I swerved too bad out of lane. I thought I really tried to stay there. I don't know.
Did you feel, considering that she said, well, I have two things to speak about, did you feel rushed at all
No.
to try and get done?
Mm-mm. No.
And
I almost did swerve up because I almost asked, I was going to do a comparison of the two situations and what you came up with an idea of what you could, like, how you prefer to see it. I was going to piggyback those two, and I'm like, no, two separate things, two separate situations. Stay in your lane. So, yeah.
so for me, I thought that you were going to correlate the two the way I would have done it, or the way I would have foreseen it happening. And even though you didn't compare or do a contrast of the two, I still think you did a really good job of hitting both, and the fact that she takes things really personally. So I didn't think that, I didn't think at first that you were going to be able to do it, but you did it. Which is cool, because she led you a lot of the way, and you just kind of tracked it and stayed with her. And she was aware of it, she just didn't feel comfortable, embracing that. At least from sitting over here, it's what it appeared to be.
Did I rush you at all? Did you feel rushed?
Embracing what? What did you mean by that? Embracing, taking things too personally?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's hard to hear when you said that, so you know.
Well, I didn't say it to hurt you. I didn't say
Yeah.
it with any malice.
I know,
I
but
said
it's
it because
interesting.
of it.
it's just that, I'm just letting you
You
know
felt
how I
something.
felt when you said that. That it bothered me.
But the question for me as a learning experience,
Mhm.
and it's not a Jay or Kristen or James thing, but as a person, is that a good, I know it doesn't feel good, but is that a good thing? Is that a good feeling, do you think?
No,
In understanding?
I guess that what I don't know why, if it's like, I don't like being labeled.
Oh,
So
that was very
if
obvious.
James had said that,
Uh-huh,
I
Too
would have
sensitive.
really reacted to that, probably.
okay.
So
Why-
I don't think that you force things, you let me name things on my own, and I think that's important.
And I try to reframe everything of words you use. Even though I brought in new feeling vocabulary, yeah, I was thinking that in the back of my head. I'm like, Kristen, you're just sensitive. It's okay.
See, I could kick you.
I know.
I don't like that.
I know.
So don't
But
go out of the council room, just stay
I'm
there.
not-
I like you better like that. No.
But for what it's worth, that's one of your biggest strengths, though, too. We don't celebrate sensitivity. We don't.
Are you uncomfortable with
I'm
being
sorry.
labeled sensitive?
I already said how I felt.
I see it as one of your biggest strengths. Honest to God, I do. You know, when I see sensitive people, it's just, that's something that not everybody is blessed with. But we'll
I
leave it
think we
alone.
just have to name our own reality. I think that's a good skill for a counselor, is
Sure.
not to tell other people that
I
this
agree.
is the way you are.
Yep.
This is what I think of you.
I thought you did a good job of being able to structure her accounts of things and of the situation. I felt you really understood her perception of things.
Do you think I did?
I thought you listened well. I felt like you stayed with me.
Okay.
You had a strong presence. You were engaging with your eye contact. You were active the whole time. Like you said before, you got the paraphrasing, you got the minimum, you got all that down. I liked, one of my favorites was, what does Kristen want to call it? Because she seemed to have an issue with language, or, you know, you said volunteer, she freaked out. When you asked her to put her own spin on it, she came back to volunteer. I don't understand that, but I put it, the comment volunteer was, there's a physical reaction,
Mhm.
as well as, you know, whatever emotions were evoked there. So the nonverbal, I was spot on. I made a connection between hope equals disappointment. Why so intently embracing them personally? That's just a note that I would have here for me as a counselor, not that I have to have that answered. That might be something that I would work on if I was continue to see that person. Using your words, recognizing and identifying the style differential, the new philosophy, what she wants to see it as far as the fact. I like towards the end there, you gave her some silence, and it was an extended, it was the most of the whole session, but you weren't quick to like jump back in and help her along the way. You allowed her
Normally
to
I would have
sit.
said, you don't have to have an answer for that right now. And just cut you off your thinking.
As far as your language goes, I was keying on a lot, oh shit, right away. That's just not normal talk for a person in your position. In my eyes, I don't see nuns running around saying, oh shit. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but that's just me. And a recognition of maybe labels or stereotypes that I have put in place. You kept saying, I guess, I don't know, I guess. I would have gone more towards trying to understand where your values. You did a great job of hitting the relationship aspect and communication, how important that is. I would probably have delved more into the where those feelings come from. You know, like, well, I'm talking more along the line, I mean, I'm just talking about myself.
Oh, yeah, that was a question I asked Colin on Thursday about,
I'm gonna stop the camera.
yeah, when